Hello Betta Lovers, and what's up everybody, and welcome to my video. If you want to be a beta breeder, then this video is right for you. Today I would like to presentation about 7 important points before breeding beta. And this presentation is based on my personal experience, and I want to answer about what we should be prepared before breeding beta and what are the considerations before starting to breeding beta fish. And if you're curious about this topic, check this out. Okay, we start from number 1 is food for beta. The availability of beta food is the main thing that will determine whether we can breed beta fish or not. Based on the age of beta fish food can be divided into two, namely food for beta fish fry 4 to 14 days old and fish food for beta fry above 14 days old. For beta fry 4 to 14 days old, we can give Infusoria, Paramecium, Baby Moina, Artemia, and microworm. Ideally, we have several types of beta food, but for microworm, I have a particular note. I don't have microworm, but I have a bad experience with microworm. I ever give microworm to my beta fry, and the results are disappointing for me personally, because most of the beta fry that I give microworm don't have ventral fins. I don't know why, but that's happened to my beta fry, so I don't recommend microworm for beta fry. And back to the topic about beta food. From some of the beta food that I have said, I strongly recommend you to use Artemia and Moina when beta fry 4 days old. Artemia has been proved to give a high success rate. By feeding Artemia, you can reduce the mortality rate of beta fry. And besides that, you can also give Moina and Infusoria for beta fry. Once again, I want to say that no beta food, no beta fish. Number 2 is water. The water that I mean is water with good parameter for beta fish. I don't need to explain anymore what the water parameters for beta fish are like. I just want to tell that if water parameters that are not in accordance with the needs of beta fish, so it can cause failure during the process of hatching beta fish age. In some previous video, I often say that the best thing to treat water is to filter it first. I'm sure not all countries have good clean water quality for beta fish, so filtering water before use is very important. Water filter is a very simple thing, but this very greatly affect the success of the breeding beta process. Source of water can come from river water, rainwater, and local water supply. You can use water from any source as long as it is fresh water and does not contain hazardous waste. But once again, whatever the source of water, the most important thing is the water must be filtered first to add oxygen value and cleanse water from harmful contents. And by the way, I stored the water in a plastic storage tank with capacity 1,200 liter. And with this capacity, I think that's enough for daily needs of beta fish. And you need to know that in this time I use water source from local water supply, and in this storage tank I let particles settle down in the water before I filter it. Number 3 is time for beta. Without enough time, you might not be able to raise beta fish very well. I think we must have a minimum 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon. You will use your time for feed beta, water change, and control the condition of the beta fish in your farm. A little note: when you leave the house for a week, you can leave your farm within 1 or 2 weeks, but if too long or more than 2 weeks, it will reduce the health quality of your beta. And for the solution, if you don't always have time for betta fish, you can hire a worker or freelancer to handle your betta fish in your farm. Number 4 is what the purpose of breeding beta. I simply divide breeding beta purpose into two, namely just for fun and for commercial purpose. If the purpose of beta breeding is just for fun, then you are free to set your standard. But if you want to breed beta for commercial, of course you have to prepare a beta pair that suit with the market world. For example, beta fish with strong and unique colors and even good form. You must really know about your target market. For specific example, if in Indonesia, beta fish with SNI criteria are preferred by the market. Good form is the main. It is half moon, crown tail, or HMPK. While in Malaysia, Thailand, Philippines, and Singapore, the IBC contest is more often held. So beta fish with IBC criteria are more in demand. Example for plakat are black STM, red STM, butterfly STM, metallic STM, and etc. So before breeding beta, ask yourself what your goals when breeding beta. Just for fun or commercial purpose, for quality or for quantity. Number 5 is land or place. For beta breeding place, I recommend you to breeding in semi-outdoor. Because I think the sunlight is very important for the growth of beta fish. Besides that, sunlight at low concentration can help to prevent fungal. We need to know that fungal usually appear more easily when beta fish are in a room that is less light and moist. A dark or closed room is not a good place for beta fish. Beta fish need a little sunlight for their lives. And number 6 is tool. The tools that used for beta breeding are very simple. For breeding, you can use aquarium tank, styrofoam box, or plastic basin. At least you have size media like this. Besides that, you also should to have a mini filter machine and fish net. These are simple tools that you need to have. By the way, this is net to catch Artemia, this is net to catch Moina, and this is a tool to catch beta. And one more, if the water conditions are very cool, for example, if the water temperature in your house is below 70 degrees Celsius, then you must use a heater. Set it 24 degrees Celsius. Number 7 is about pair of beta. It depends on what your initial goal is. If you want to get good generation of beta fish, then you can choose a good quality pair of beta fish. And the question is how to choose a good pair of beta fish. To answer the question, I have simple tips about how to know good quality beta fish. But before I talking about simple tips, I want you know about basic to choose beta. First is anatomically. We must choose with fish complete anatomy. But it's not enough just have complete anatomy. It must also be in accordance with the standard for competition. For example, if you want to breed beta plakat with SNI criteria, then choose male and female fish according to SNI criteria. Choose quality beta according to your money situation. And the question about simply tips, these tips are only for people who want to think. I want you know this tip is powerful for me to learn about betas. The tips is by looking at beta fish photos that have been championed. You can search on Facebook from the photo. You can distinguish between standard and non-standard beta fish. By the way, the following are some examples of SNI beta fish plakat that can be used as a reference. One more important thing is buy beta from reputable seller. Remember that beta fry will follow the physical characteristics of their parents. So be careful when choosing a pair of beta fish for breeding. Don't waste your time. And finally, if you have different opinion about breeding beta, or maybe you have question about breeding beta, you can write in column comment. And finally, thank you so much for watching this video and see you next time.